In the movie Captain America Civil War, released in May, the Avengers are faced with many challenges as they attempt to safeguard humanity, preserve the Earth for future generations, and more. Marvel challenged girls in grades 10 through 12 to use their powerful skills in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM, to make positive changes in the world. Through their many innovations, girls are reforming the future through their science and engineering projects. They are simplifying lives, helping the disabled, making life on Earth better, safer, and healthier. Over 1,000 girls submitted videos to the contest explaining their work, how it benefits humankind, and why they want to intern at Marvel Studios. In April, 5 amazing young scientists and engineers were picked as finalists. They were honored for their work by attending the red carpet premiere of the Captain America Civil War movie. Each received a $500 high-yield savings account from Synchrony Bank, received a tour of Walt Disney Studios and Dolby Laboratories. You can visit www.captainamericacivil-war-challenge.com to learn more. In the end, one finalist was selected as the winner of a one-week internship at Marvel Studios. Today, we will hear from all 5 finalists, including the top winner, and they will talk about the science and engineering behind their projects, their experiences in California, and their advice for younger students to be successful in STEM fields. We are here to celebrate them and listen to their stories and advice as role models. We hope you had a chance to watch the trailer ahead of this webinar. If not, don't worry. The link is available on our Google Plus page. So let's get started. I'll quickly introduce the 5 finalists. Then they will each have the opportunity to tell you about their projects. Maia, the top winner, will tell you about her Marvel internship. Then we will hold a question and answer session with all of the Marvel finalists. Questions will be asked by past winners of the Broadcom Masters National Middle School Science Competition, a program of Society for Science in the Public. Without further ado, let's meet the Marvel finalists. Introducing Margaret Fleck from Emmaus, Pennsylvania. Next, Janie Kim from San Diego, California. Vivian King from Marlboro, New Jersey. Holly Reaping from Colorado Springs, Colorado. And Maya from West Sacramento, California. So let's get started. We have a few questions so we have Vivian on the screen. We'll go ahead and ask Vivian to tell us about her amazing project idea and how it makes a positive impact on the world.
Hey guys, so my name is Vivian, and my project was the one with solar thermal collectors. And basically, I made a solar thermal collector that was hybrid in design, so it could run both air and water at the same time. And that's good because current solar thermal collectors can't do that. They can only run either air or water, and so you can't use them year-round. So since you can use the hybrid solar thermal collector year-round, you can use it in all sorts of different climates, with even climates with seasons. So then if this design were used worldwide, then it could greatly reduce the carbon footprint of, I guess, residential areas.
Vivian, what is next for you?
For me, I would like to continue my research. I actually am improving upon the solar thermal collectors this summer. And I also look forward to conducting more independent research, more like original research on my own, and as I go into college, where those kinds of opportunities would be more available.
Very good. Well, congratulations. You're doing amazing work. So next we're going to move to Janie. We'd love to hear from Janie about your project. Tell us about what you did.
Okay, so what I did was I created a novel antiseptic combination using disinfectants from contact lens solutions. So these would be a lot less irritating and non-caustic than traditional disinfectants like bleach or ethanol. And with this combination, I took a surface acoustic wave device, which essentially vaporizes or nebulizes liquids. It's really cheap, it's affordable, doesn't use much energy. And so when I combined that device with my combination of antiseptics, this could potentially be a way to stop hospital infections by sterilizing hospital rooms, offices, public areas.
So tell us, what was your favorite part of the experience at the Marvel Premiere Week?
Definitely getting to meet everyone else. Everyone here is so amazing. And also being able to see how STEM kind of propels different fields. Like filmmaking was kind of unexpected, I guess, but you see how STEM makes possible like the color the color gamut, visuals, sound system, and being on the red carpet. That was pretty amazing.
Where do you take your project from here?
I want to see if my disinfection system would be effective against non-bacterial pathogens. So I only tested it against bacteria, but I want to see if it's effective against like viruses or fungi. Um, in the meantime, I've been learning different techniques in lab, like tissue culture, Western blots, stuff like that. So I want to try to apply that to my project and see if I can make it go further.
That is awesome. Best of luck. And we're going to go ahead and interview Margaret. Hi, Margaret.
Hello.
Hi, great. Can you tell us a little bit about your project? What did you do to win this amazing experience?
All right, so I basically created two computer programs that I called the headphone stairs. And what they do is they regulate the volume of your headphones so that you can listen to your music for as loud and for as long as possible without worrying about damaging your hearing.
So tell us, what did you do when you were in California, and what was your favorite part?
In California, well, first of all, it was awesome to be able to meet all the finalists when I got there because I saw them in the video that Marvel put out and seeing what their projects were, and I just couldn't wait to meet all of them. So that was the first thing that happened. That was awesome. And then I guess just like the rest of them, seeing that premiere of the movie, getting to see, first of all, how Dolby and all their technologies worked into the movie, and then meeting the movie stars and the actors too. Everything was awesome.
Cool. Well, it seems like a remarkable experience. So what are you up to now?
Well, with my project, I was luckily able to present it at the local science center, the Da Vinci Science Center in the Allentown. They had their first annual Code Fest, where they invited presenters from all around the area with STEM projects to show children and their parents what people were doing around the area. So I was able to show a lot of kids what they could do with STEM and where the opportunities that they would get from it.
Next, we're going to move on to Holly. Hi, Holly.
Hi.
Hi. Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
So my project was a network of inexpensive mobile computers with security and education capabilities that's all run on renewable energy, and everything on it is accessible without internet. I was able to go show it to a bunch of middle school kids, and they were really interested in how something that's just this size could have all 1,000 textbooks and 3,000 videos on it.
Super cool. So tell us about another event that maybe we haven't heard about yet that happened during your week together in California. One of the other highlights.
So everyone loved the red carpet, just going to get that out there. But one of the most amazing things that I think we all agreed was just fantastic was getting to have that dinner with 20 women in STEM who work underneath the Walt Disney Company, just hearing all the different things that they do, from Imagineers to visual effects artists, just all the different things that the entertainment industry touches with STEM, and seeing how they're doing their jobs and how much they love it.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely neat to hear about STEM careers all around us, especially at Disney. So what are you up to since the week together?
Well, since then, I've been teaching some classes for middle school students to get them into programming, but mainly over the summer, I've just been a software engineering intern at Intelligent Software Solutions, where I've been working gathering data on satellites to increase space situational awareness. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Good for you. Keep up the amazing work. We're really proud of you. Next, we're going to move on to Maia. Great. Hi, Maia.
So my project was a robot that replaces a guide dog for the visually impaired, because a guide dog usually costs around $50,000, and that's for training, for matching it up with the right person, and just overall taking care of it. My project only costs around $600, so it's better financial support for the people who really need those kind of who want to go through their daily lives, but they can't because they have a disability.
Wow, that's incredible. Definitely will impact a lot of people. So how did you get the idea for your project?
I got the idea for building my project because I have 3 dogs myself, and I know how much it takes to take care of them, and it made me think about how much more work it would take if somebody had a disability, such as visual impairment. So that's where it really all started, and that's where my design came out of. I wanted it to be portable and easy to take around and not too heavy, so that I could go to multiple parts of the world.
So what was your favorite part of the week in California? We know that you're the winner of the internship. We can't wait to hear about that. But besides that, what were some of the highlights of the experience?
The highlight of this experience was definitely the dinner with the 20 women in STEM. They really had an impact on me because they left me with so much advice for my future that I still want to apply with my life, and I have been applying with my life. Just always say yes to whatever opportunity comes up. Travel if you can. Don't hold back. Don't let anybody tell you no. Is basically what I learned the whole time I was there and here.
Now Maia is in California. She's been with Marvel for her internship for a week. So tell us, what have you been up to? Whatever you can tell us, that is.
Yes, I've been up to a lot of secret stuff. So far, I've done everything that there is to do. I spent so much time with Victoria shadowing her. She's amazing. I love her spirit. I got to spend a day at Imagineering, which was my favorite day by far. We went behind the scenes a lot. I got to see the family side of Marvel as well, and thinking about how it's a family here and not just a workplace.
Very good. Have you learned anything unexpected since you started?
So if anybody didn't know who Victoria Alonso is, she's vice president for Marvel, and she's a woman, and she is amazing. Everybody loves her here. What I didn't expect to learn here so far was how many jobs there are that are included in the film industry. So what I've learned is that the film industry is STEM. STEM isn't just science, technology, engineering, and math. It's connected in so many things. Art, it's connected in history, everything. It's just connected in everything. It's always good to learn something because it's going to end up coming back to you later in life.
So what has been your favorite part so far?
Definitely the Imagineering. Imagineering is the practice of engineering for Walt Disney, and they engineer all of the parks, they engineer the hotels, they're behind the design of everything, they're the reason why the parks are where they are today and why everybody keeps going. They're the reason for the attractions and for the feeling and the entertainment in the parks.
Very cool. And I think anyone could see why that might be one of your favorite days for sure. So Maia, what are your future plans? What do you want to do when you're a little bit older?
They're not set in stone, but I would like to become an engineer myself. I'm not sure in what yet, but it's out there. It's just about getting yourself out there and learning, so you never know what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. So how is this experience at Marvel supporting your future goals?
This experience at Marvel really helped my future goals because I've really only worked in robotics so far, and my main reason I wanted to do this internship was because it would expose me to so many different jobs, and it has. There's been people who majored in art or people who majored in science, and they're all working together to make one big product that everybody loves. So it's shown me a different pathways that I can take and still end up somewhere I love.
Very cool. Yeah, absolutely. It says a lot about just kind of going where life takes you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Anything else that you want to share with the audience about your experience at Marvel?
I want to share that what I've learned so far is that Marvel likes to create an experience and a feeling. So that's really important to me because most companies, I feel like being here, I felt a real family vibe from them, and other companies, I feel like you would not feel that as much as more of a workplace, and I think that's really important to have in something you love. So if you're working somewhere, if it doesn't feel right, you should just leave. That's what Victoria told me, and I really take that advice seriously.
Very good advice from some very cool people, for sure. Well, thank you for sharing this experience with us, Maia. I think everyone really enjoyed hearing about that, and it no doubt will impact you positively in the future. So congratulations. We have a little time left there too, so enjoy it.
Yes.
Yes, very good. So I'm sure that many of our listeners today are are eager to hear from all 5 of these amazing role models to hear what advice they have for scientists and engineers of the next generation. To help us with that today, we have 4 students from the Broadcom Masters National Middle School Science Competition who are winners in their own right, great scientists too, and they've come up with some great questions for our Marvel finalists. So I'll introduce them each one at a time. You can also learn more about the Broadcom Masters program through our link below. Great, so first I'd like to introduce Michaela Lindsay from Florida. Michaela has a few questions to ask today.
This question is for Vivian and Margaret. What is the biggest challenge you have faced on this path, and how did you handle it?
For me, my biggest challenge was while I was making my solar thermal collectors, and for me, it was just kind of hard to find all the time I wanted and all the resources I needed to kind of create all that I wanted to create. So I kind of had to set limits for myself and set budgets in terms of how much time I had to spend and what kind of resources would be actually available for me. So, for instance, the solar thermal collectors I actually built were built with time constraints and with material constraints in mind, and all the materials I used were cost effective to some degree. And yeah, so I think anything you do, you have to keep in mind that you do have finite time and resources, and you have to work according to those limits.
We'll let Margaret answer this question as well next.
I think that the biggest challenge is taking the first step and actually deciding that you're going to do something, because it's so easy to just think about like, I'd like to do that, or that sounds cool, or I want to make a change with this, but actually deciding, like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and devote time and effort to this, that's the hardest part.
Okay, so this question is for Janie, Holly, and Maia. How has your experience as a Captain America finalist influenced you?
As a Captain America finalist, being able to see and learn about all the STEM-based behind the scenes of filmmaking was really eye-opening, like the sound systems and visuals, because science finds its way into so many different things. And after coming back from LA, I think I've been more curious to know how STEM plays a role in even everyday, kind of like boring things too, how it like influences them.
Okay, so for me, I think it was just a really big confidence booster. You know, I'm just not that afraid to put myself and my projects out there anymore. Definitely learned a lot while I was out there. It's just interesting how now that we've kind of got this platform, seeing as finalists, we can just use our voices to get some action going.
Being a Captain America finalist has really influenced me because everybody here wanted to share their projects with us, and after we shared ours, and it really made me want to go back home and share my project with everybody in my community, showing them that STEM is an option for them, for anybody who really wants to learn, and it's not that hard to learn, you just got to be curious.
Very good advice. Thank you, Maya, and thank you, Michaela. Our next Broadcom Master is from Pennsylvania, Shreya Suresh.
Hi, everyone. So this question is for Janie and Vivian. What makes a person creative, and how do we enhance the creativity in us?
So I guess curiosity, because being curious leads to questions, which leads to wanting answers, which leads to experimenting, and I guess not just experimenting in the scientific sense. So what I do is I keep up with a few good websites on subjects and topics that I totally enjoy, which for me is science and writing. And I guess reading through the latest on what you enjoy can give you sudden ideas, and I think this helps quick start creative bursts.
Yeah, I totally second Janie on that, and I also think that creativity is when you take the things you already know, like what you already learned in school and what you've learned by yourself, and kind of expanding on that previous knowledge, and that's creativity. So kind of going down the path that no one else has gone down before, and thinking in a way that no one else has thought before. That for me is creativity. And as for how to enhance that creativity, you have to love what you do, and kind of keep on being inspired by people who use their creativity to innovate and to make new things, and use that inspiration to look around you and see what needs fixing and what you can do to innovate, I guess, change the world by yourself.
This question is for Maya. What was the best part about being an intern at Marvel?
The best part about being an intern in Marvel was definitely being able to get so much advice from different perspectives because I met with so many different people. I got a tour down around the whole office place, and they were all really happy to lend a hand and ask me about what my future plans were or ask me if I were interested in their job. And I got to ask them questions, asking how they got where they are today, what they did, and so it was really nice to receive so much advice from different people.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Shreya. All right, next we have Soy from Florida, who's a Broadcom master this past year, and she'll ask her questions.
All right. So my first question is for Margaret, Holly, and Vivian. And like as you know, girls are still like underrepresented in many STEM fields. So I was curious of what got you interested in STEM? Like, was there like a specific event in your childhood that sparked your interest?
There was no specific event per se, but just a whole culmination of like I've always liked gadgets, especially like iPod, the PlayStation, everything that just comes together. And as I was growing up, I always loved like numbers and like Legos and puzzles and putting things together. And I think like I just found that STEM was so similar to that, and that's why I've always liked it.
It's really important that you brought up that women are just so underrepresented in STEM. In my internship right now, there are only about 6 women in my floor, and there's about 100 people there. So that's 6%. We need to get that up. And for me, both my parents were electrical engineers, so I was kind of brought up into that idea with just technology is what creates the future. Ever since the printing press came out and computers, it's been changing the world. And once you're part of STEM, you can be the one changing the world. So that's what's really pushed me to keep doing it.
So I'm sort of like Margaret in the sense that I never really had a single event that pushed me to STEM. And when I was a kid, I played with like all sorts of toys. I was obsessed with Barbies, and I didn't play with Legos, but I did play with the I don't know what they're called, like the little log things that you stack and build houses out of. So I was really obsessed with those, and I guess that sort of pushed me to STEM a little bit. But yeah, when I grew up, I was also, like, right now I'm also interested in lots of things besides STEM, and STEM is just one of, like, my many passions, and I've been privileged to go to a school where people encourage me to pursue STEM, and there's actually a pretty equal balance of the girls and guys interested in STEM at my school, but I do understand that there is a need for women to have greater representation in STEM, and yeah, so I guess the focus for future, like, getting people into STEM should probably be to kind of encourage both females and males equally to pursue what they actually like to do.
All right, and my second question is for Janie and Maya. I'm curious of what you guys learned about yourself while doing this project.
From doing my project, I guess I've learned that if I'm really interested in something, I go all out. For my disinfectant nebulizer project, I got really absorbed in it. While I was experimenting, my laptop was like a semi-organized mess. I had like 15 desktops, each with a browser window, each with like 15 tabs, all open to articles, reviews, papers, whatnot. So yeah, I guess I get very absorbed, and through this project I realized how to channel into that.
I'll go ahead and ask a question that we wanted to ask of all 5 of the Marvel finalists, which is if you could give one piece of advice to every young girl in the world who is interested in STEM, what would that be?
One piece of advice I would give to all the girls of the world interested in STEM is to never say no. If you want to learn something, go after it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If it's your life, you can't let anybody else make you do what you don't want to do. If you want to go pursue something, pursue it. The only bad thing that could happen is somebody says no. But you can still keep fighting for it because it's your life, it's your dream. Don't let anybody keep you away from it.
Mine is pretty similar to Maya's. I think do what you love to do, whether it's STEM or some other subject, and if you do love to do it, you will fight to do it no matter what someone else tells you to do, and you'll keep on working to become better at it no matter what happens, and I guess strive to become the best you can be, and whether that's STEM or some other field, then you will find success.
My advice would definitely have to be don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just focus on what makes you unique. If you just start comparing yourself to people in your life, you're just going to get way too stressed out. It's not worth it because what you're doing is enough. Just focus on your skills and what you have to offer the world.
My advice would be to find a professional mentor or someone who can teach you tips and tricks of the trade, because that makes the learning curve a lot faster and you might learn things that you might not otherwise learn.
My advice would be don't be afraid to ask for help because, well, nobody knows everything about everything. So you can always, your project can always be better with input from other people, no matter how good you feel about it already. And don't be afraid to put all the time and effort you need into your project to make it the very best it can be if you really, really care about it.
Annika Urban, a Broadcom master, has a question that she would like to ask.
Okay, this question's for Margaret and Holly. So who in your life has been most influential in helping you pursue some subjects, and so who are your role models?
Well, in school, my teachers were always helping me with everything I needed with math or science. Whether I was since I'm a girl, it didn't matter to them at all. And then outside of school, my parents are always guiding and supporting me, so I have the best of in school and out school. And I would say it would be those same teachers who were always the best role models to me, especially the one STEM teacher that I have this year. She was actually the person that first introduced me to computer programming, and she always encouraged me, pushed me, and especially she was the one that encouraged me to do this Captain America challenge. So I am here especially because of her.
For me, it's definitely parents, family. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and pushing me to do the best I can. Even though my school doesn't really offer any computer science classes at all, my parents started pushing me, hey, maybe you should go take some of these classes at community college. And without that, I wouldn't be here today. But even if you do have those people pushing you, you're the only person who can motivate yourself, so you have to want it. But with people who are just looking out for you, you need that in your life. And then you do need some people to look up to, like I look up to, like Rosa Parks, Michelle Obama, Malala, amazing people who go for what they want without any hesitation. And I'm so grateful that I have people like that in my family to just look up to.
Janie and Vivian, what was the inspiration for your science research project?
I've always been interested in solar energy in particular because I've always been interested in keeping the efficiency of what gives us power as high as possible. And if you think about it, solar power should give us more power than, for instance, wind power or hydroelectric power, because there's less energy lost and transfer when you take energy from the sun directly. So I've always been really interested in kind of improving in the field of solar energy, and that's how I came to an idea of solar thermal collectors. And inherently, solar thermal collectors collect more energy than things like solar panels because you're taking energy directly from the sun instead of using it to convert it to something else like electricity. Yeah.
Inspiration for my project started off with contact lens solutions because I wear contacts myself. I've gotten eye infections. So initially I just wanted to see which kind of commercial contact lens solution would kill bacteria the best, but then that kind of led into experimenting with like the individual components, and then with the machine, and it just kind of like kept going.
This question is for Maia, and I wanted to know how did you start doing this project? And because that's usually like one of the harder parts. So how did you like start doing it?
Starting projects are usually not super hard for me because I have a lot of things that are always rolling around in my mind. I'm always looking at things and thinking how they can be built or destructed and rebuilt into something else. So starting projects really depends on what you get inspiration from or who you get inspiration from. It's really ending projects for me because sometimes I'll get so frustrated that I don't end them. So yeah.
This question is for Margaret, and I was wondering what your goals for the future are and how you might extend on your own project that you have now.
Goals, I would definitely like to make this project into an app so people could use it on their phones when they're listening to music, and it would automatically adjust, and you never have to worry about damaging your hearing again. That would be awesome. So I'm hoping to do that. I definitely want to, I'm looking to go to college for either computer engineering or something like that, so I can use my education to meet not just that goal, but also everything else I want to do with my career.
I have a question for Holly. How do you feel that your project could have global impact?
Global is really big. I don't know. It would take a lot of steps to get it to a global point, but just thought that education is such an important thing, and it's denied to so many people worldwide. And with the technology that we have today, it's amazing that we haven't gotten to a global point where people can have a security system or education widely available to areas that internet doesn't access. So I'm just amazed that this project that's so small and so inexpensive could have a global impact that large by just giving something to people that we kind of take for granted here.
So I'll ask Maya, why should I or anyone care about science and engineering?
Everyone should care about STEM, no matter who you are, because STEM is connected with everything. You may not think it, but it is. Our future is technology. Everywhere we're heading. We're heading with computers or 3D printers or VR. Anything you do is with technology. Nothing hasn't been touched by STEM so far. So everywhere you go, it's going to be touched by STEM.
I'd like to thank Janie, Margaret, Holly, Vivian, and Maya for sharing your stories with us. It was amazing to hear from you, and we can't wait to see where you go next. It's been really inspiring to hear from these great role models who are using their STEM skills to make the world a much better place for all of us. So just like the Marvel finalists and like the Avengers, everyone who's tuned into this webinar has the ability to do the same through STEM. We hope you learned a lot, and if you did not watch the trailer before you watched the webinar, we definitely recommend that you do so you can learn even more about the Marvel finalists' amazing projects and the experience that they had in California. We also want to encourage everyone who's watching to try your own science or engineering project at home. Maybe a topic that's important to you would solve a problem in your local community. Just give it a try, and you never know where it could take you. Could take you to the Broadcom Masters competition for middle school students, or even to an internship at Marvel someday, just like Maya. So keep your eyes open. We also wanted to let you know about the next big contest with Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange Magic of STEM Challenge, which will begin soon. So watch out for the announcement about the Doctor Strange competition. So thank you to our friends at Disney Studios, Marvel, Society for Science and the Public, Broadcom Foundation, our Broadcom Masters finalists, and thanks for tuning in.